welcome back to the Hopeless Herpers podcast. As always, I've got Grandpa here with me, and we are obviously not in the normal studio. We are actually hanging out at Grandpa's place here in Central Florida, and we've been having a blast here, but kind of looks like we're back in the 1800s sitting on this couch. I'm super excited because today we are going to just talk about a little bit of the stuff that's gone this year and some of the stuff that I've done, and then we'll go dive in a little bit to what we've done the last couple days here in Florida. So I'm super excited about that, but let's jump into it.
Ready to go. We had a good time here.
We did. So this winter, I was really inspired to really just focus on trying to put out more tin and create more spots and do a little bit more of research to try to help me find snakes later on in the year. And I actually added quite a few pieces of tin to one of my really good spots. And so far, I haven't really got any big snakes. I'm really hoping to get, king snakes eventually, hopefully even rattlesnakes and copperheads. But I really just kind of focused on doing that a little bit. I've actually gotten super, super lucky with this spot. I originally started attending it just to flip rocks to get like king snakes and milk snakes. But after going there for a couple times, I realized that there was a lot of junk metal, scrap metal, tin, all kinds of different things that you can find snakes under. So every time I go there, I lay out more spots, and I've seen quite a few snakes over the years. None at my really big tin flipping site, but I've seen a couple good snakes under tin, and just it's a really good area. And I've just been super blessed to been just one of my really close local spots have just tin and metal and all kind of really cool stuff there. So one of the days I was laying out tin this year, I was doing something else a little bit interesting. So back in 2022, I got my lifer timber rattlesnakes at this spot that I'm talking about. And ever since I found those rattlesnakes there, I wanted to find the den. It was just I knew there was a den somewhere on the property. And so I started to read a couple of college studies from my local college who did some timber rattlesnake research in that area. And, I kept getting context clues and general areas and narrowed it down. But this winter, I actually did a little bit more digging, and I actually found a photo of the timber rattlesnake den. And so I got super excited. And as I was hiking up the little bit, it's not really kind of like a hill / little bluff, and I saw this really cool old cabin that was collapsed. There's, like I said, there's tons of old tin and just junk all over, but I love kind of finding old buildings in the woods, especially because a lot of them have tin.
Makes for a good snake place, yeah.
It does. And so right after I found this building, I just kept going up, and I noticed that the terrain was getting more rocky and more, it started to look more like the picture that I found. And so I started getting really excited because this was the first time that I had I actually thought I was really close, and I actually had some clues, like the area looking really good. And after looking around, I found this rock, and in the picture, it's this perfectly T-shaped rock. And so I was I knew what it was going to look like. I knew I was looking for a T-shaped rock outcrop. And after maybe 10 minutes, I found a rock, and I was like, oh, that's a T-shape. Let me check it. Checked it to the photos, and it turned out to be the exact spot. So I found the timber rattlesnake den.
I like that. There's FaceTime, too. When I'm not in the same place with you, you can call me, and I get to share with them.
Do you like that I do that? Every time, not right away because I'll talk to you so long that my phone will die. I have to do it at the end of the day, after I found everything, and I'll be like, hey, Papa, I just found this. Do you like when I do that?
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Does it make you feel like you're part of the adventure a little bit?
It does. And even now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yep, because I called you right after. I said, Papa, I found the den. And you're like, what? And then I had to explain it to you.
And I get to see the area, too.
Yeah. But, yeah, finding a den was honestly just a huge moment because I've been looking for it for at least a couple years now, and no luck, and just it's pretty exciting. Hopefully, in the next month or two, I'll be able to actually catch some rattlesnakes sitting out on the den. So I'm really excited to see that, and hopefully we can actually get your lifer timber rattlesnake at that spot next time you come up.
That would be good.
You have yet to find a big rattlesnake. So far, all of you've got is a pygmy rattlesnake. So,
Yeah. They've evaded me.
yep. And one thing I also realized when I found this den site is it's actually not that far from where I laid out all my tin, probably 100 yards or so. I think I measured it at one point on Google Earth, and I think it was around 180 to 100 yards. So that's pretty close, and I'm really, really hoping to eventually flip a timber rattlesnake, because that's, imagine the excitement. You lift it up and then you just hear the rattle. That'd be so exciting.
Yeah. Anytime I see one would be exciting.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe we can flip one the next time you're at my place.
I think it's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yep. So one thing I've also been really trying this winter is to put some effort into finding salamanders. It hasn't really been something that I've tried to do in the past. Most of the time when I find salamanders, it's just the bycatch when I'm trying to find a snake. So I just decided that this year I'd really tried to... All right, I think we're back.
I hope so.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know. We had some issues with the GoPros, so I don't know what was going on. Let me see where we're at. Yeah, so so this winter I really decided to put a lot of effort into finding some salamanders, something I hadn't really done much before. And I started off with, we got some really good rain, I think early February, and so I decided to get out and do some road cruising to try to find some salamanders, which I had never done before. And my first night, I got a cave salamander and a couple two-line salamanders, and I was like, pretty cool, because like I said, never really done it before, and I really wasn't expecting much as far as just really finding anything. I also got a DOR streamside salamander that had eggs in her, so that was kind of sad, but that's just something that happens when you're cruising. Find a lot of dead snakes and dead stuff.
Always sad.
Yeah. And then night number 2, I went out with my brother, and we got just one two-line salamander. But even still, I hadn't really seen a ton of two-line salamanders, especially that close to my house. So that was kind of cool too. I also, so one day in February, I also went to my local rock flipping spot, and started off with some just tons of zigzag salamanders. I don't know if you found zigzags with me before, but they can be just absolutely everywhere. I don't know if it was last week I went somewhere, and I literally found probably 60 zigzag salamanders. So, there's literally 3 triple flip, like multiple triple flips, multiple double flips. They get super insane. So I started off with a bunch of those, which are usually the easiest salamander to get. And then I also flipped a couple streamside salamanders, which was my big target for the day. And I also, one of them I actually flipped with a egg mass under it, which was super cool. She must have just laid the eggs. And I found a couple other egg masses, but it was really cool. I love streamside salamanders, and I love finding the egg masses just to see that the populations are doing good.
Yeah, the zigzags, I've probably seen them if they're common.
Yeah.
But the name's not familiar. If I saw them, I would probably know.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we really have found any, but I'm sure, because you haven't really come up to my house in the wintertime, so you might have missed out on some of them, but at some point we'll for sure get some, because they're really common.
Christmas time?
Yeah.
Or is that too cold?
No, yeah, I found them around Christmas time.
Yeah. That might happen then.
So while I was out that day looking for salamanders, I actually came across something super unexpected. I actually hiked my first snake of the year in like the first week in February, and it was a black king snake for my first snake of the year. Isn't that insane?
I was surprised when you called me.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. The years before, I've gotten little fossorial snakes as my first one of the year, just flipping them. But I even flipped all my tin that day and didn't see anything. And I was so surprised to see it out on the crawl. And not only, was it a king snake, it was a huge one of the biggest ones I've seen. And it had some really, really beautiful colors. And it was overall doing pretty healthy. So that was just, really exciting. I took it as a sign that this year is going to be an insane year.
I hope so. And when you first called me, I'm like, no way this time of year.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a couple of days or a week after that little salamander trip. I took my brother out to a spot, and the goal was to get a spotted salamander. I had never actually seen a spotted salamander in Tennessee. I only got one when we were up in Michigan last summer. So that was something I'd been trying to do for over a year, trying to get a spotted, and just never was able to make it happen. So we went out to try to make that happen, and there's also some other cool stuff that we wanted to see, but we ended up getting a marbled salamander, my first one of the year. We did end up getting the spotted salamander, which was super exciting. And then we also got a smallmouth salamander, which was my lifer. And then we got a four-toed salamander, which was my lifer. So it was really cool. Like I said, putting some energy into finding salamanders has been kind of cool. And I have like a newfound respect now for salamanders because they are really cool. Sometimes I get tied up in the finding of snakes and I don't appreciate some of the other stuff, but it was very eye-opening, and I really appreciate salamanders now.
Good to have variety.
Yeah.
And education.
Yeah. Maybe next year you can come up when it's salamander season, and we can find some cool stuff. So because I don't think you've seen too many salamanders with me.
Not too many, no.
So yeah, we'll have to make that happen.
Some of the other lizard things I've seen.
A lot of lizards, yeah, in the rocky glades. All right, Papa. Well, let's dive in a little bit to what's been happening the last week here in Central Florida. We've been having a great time, just enjoying we've had some perfect weather, haven't we?
Yes.
It's been awesome.
And this should be fresh in my mind.
Yeah, this should be very fresh in your mind. I hope so. Oh, by the way, what shirt are you wearing there?
Well, it's the Hopeless Herpers.
Uh-huh. Repping the brand here.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Was paid for by the company.
Yeah, the company. It was a Christmas gift a while back, but I said, "Papa, you got to wear your brand shirt for the for the podcast." So yeah, like I said, we've been here for just about a week, and it's actually been pretty exhausting because I've been out every single day we've been here. You took Sunday off, but it was it was crazy. I mean, just hitting it super hard and trying to find as many snakes as possible. So the first day we were here, we met up with David Oren and his friend Aiden, and we went to the Sandhills to do some cruising, and that was super fun. Probably some of the most fun I've had herping, just being with some more herpers. And we didn't find too much. We only ended up getting a black racer, but it was kind of cool because we saw the squiggles in the sand, and we actually tracked it off the road. And I think Aiden ended up seeing it, and we kind of cornered him in like this like brush pile or grass, and after a couple tries, I think we were all around it, and David ended up grabbing him. So it was pretty cool. First time I've ever seen a snake track, really, and we were able to track it off the road and get it, which was super awesome.
Yeah, I think I had just as much fun being with the teen boys and the young adults, watching them. That was probably just as much fun as the snakes.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
It was awesome, yeah. Just getting to know them, and they're super funny, super cool people. And
I wonder if I acted that way when I was young.
I don't know.
I think so.
I wasn't there. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, it was kind of cool. We got to watch, we were taking our videos and doing things, and, it was just so, like, funny. They were just having so much fun, and Aiden was doing a reel, and he tried to kiss the racer, and it bit him right in the lip, and he's like got blood all over his face, and we were just cracking up. It was so funny.
Yeah, I had a great time. I wouldn't have missed it for nothing.
So on our second day, we cruised a little bit by ourselves in some really good habitat, and we didn't really have much luck for most of the day, but as we were driving down one of the roads, there was a little side road, and I could see that there was some junk there, so I was like, yeah, we'll get out and we'll try to flip it. And as I got out, I see a racer shoot across the path or whatever, the clearing. And I was like, Papa, there's a snake. Let's get him. And so we get over. I knew he went into this little palmetto. And so I kind of looked in there, and I could see him poking his head out at me. Took a couple of videos, and then I tried to scare him out so I could actually catch him. And he was he was booking it. I mean, racers are fast, but he was like booking it. And I got to where I pinned him down with my hand, but I was recording with my phone, so I didn't have two hands. And when I kind of pinned him on the grass, and when I lifted my hand up, he was just instantly gone. And in the video, you can actually see he was like half in the air. Like he like jumped. It looks like he's like flying through the air. He was just going so fast. And by the time like I reached again, he was just gone. And we thought we lost him for a while there.
I didn't think we'd ever find him again.
Yeah, but we, after, probably, what would you say, 10 minutes or something like that? 10 minutes? 5 minutes. We were able to, because I knew a lot of times what racers will do, they'll fast burst and they'll get into cover and they'll kind of stay low. So I didn't think he just went straight off into the swamp. So we kind of walked around an area, and then we heard, I think, Papa, you heard him make a little, you heard the leaves moving, you're like, there he is. So we cornered him again, and then he decided to go my way, and I got him. The snakes aren't smart enough to realize to go Grandpa's way, because Grandpa might not always catch him like I do, because he doesn't want to get bit. But so he went my way, and that was a bad decision because I ended up getting him. But that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, I was shocked we even found him again. I thought them racers sometime beeline.
Yeah,
I thought he'd be long gone.
Yeah.
Especially the gopher hole was near.
Yeah. So I forgot to mention that when we were looking for him the first time we lost him, I saw a gopher tortoise hole, and I was like, we can't let him get to the gopher tortoise hole, because he gets in there, he's gonna really be gone. And I knew, and actually when we let him go, he actually went beeline straight for the gopher tortoise
that's where he went.
And so that was pretty cool. The snakes love the gopher tortoise burrows. It's pretty cool. On our third day of the trip, that was Sunday, the day that you stayed back. You stayed back to get a little bit of rest, and I went out hiking with my mom and my great uncle, and we didn't end up getting any snakes, but we got to see quite a bit of turtles. I caught a little, I'm not even sure what it was. I don't know all the turtles real well here, but I don't know if it was like a slider or something. But we saw tons of alligators, probably 30 alligators, lots of babies, lots of turtles. But it was pretty cool. Just get out and hike and see some stuff. Like, we don't see gators in Tennessee, so they're always kind of fun to see. Not as cool as a snake, in my opinion, but still pretty cool.
Of course not. Of course, I'm used to them here.
Yeah. You get them in your little pond right in your backyard. I apologize if you guys can hear the lawnmower in the background. I didn't know it was lawn mowing day here, so we're kind of trying to record in between the super loud lawn mowing noise. So, yeah, that's it's fun. Fix it in post, right? Fix it in post. If only I could fix it in post. I'm not that electronically gifted. So we decided to go to a river on our fourth day in search of my lifer brown water snake, something I really wanted to see, and thought we could probably get there at that spot. Within the first minute of getting out of the car, we spotted a Florida water snake basking on some branches on the edge of this ditch. And I gave Papa the phone. I said, let's record this catch. I've been watching David Oren. I'm like, I'm going to do it David Oren style. Just launch right on top of it. And I come flying out the side and just jump right on top of it. I get the catch, and it was super exciting. A really nice, big Florida water snake. And what do you think of that catch, Papa?
When you first were doing it, there was a log in front of this brush pile right on the edge of the river. I figured you were going to go over there, sneak up on it, just lean over that log and grab it. And I just hear this big crash. For some reason, I didn't realize you were going to leap over the log and grab the snake. I was probably more surprised than the snake was.
Yeah, and it was so funny because I had you recording it, and you're like, sorry, I wasn't even looking at I wasn't looking at the recording. I was so you were so surprised that you were just watching. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was watching the little acrobatic act there of jumping over. And I thought, I hope I was holding the camera straight. Fortunately, it was.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Again, this podcast has been the most technical difficulties I've ever had. We've had cameras die. My SD card just got full on this camera. I had to reformat it and do all this stuff. So we've had literally the craziest time here with our equipment. But we're still going. And then at the same time, we've got the lawnmower back here making all sorts of racket. So we're trying our best here.
I did say that I'm retired, so I'm not put out by any time that we're wasting.
Yeah. So on our 5th day of the trip, we went out to the Sandhills again to do some more cruising. We were hoping really to get, a diamondback, a coral snake, or a coach whip. And we did a little bit of habitat hiking too, but just a couple hours of stuff and just no luck. Didn't really find anything. But as we were kind of getting toward the end, it was getting close to dark, actually. It was kind of getting probably around 5 o'clock, a little after 5.
Yeah, somewhere around 5.
Somewhere around. And we were driving up one of the roads, and I noticed this kind of old brick building, and at the corner of my eye, I saw this tiny piece of tin sticking out of the side. And I was like, oh, Papa, let's go flip this real quick, whatever. It didn't really look like much. So I didn't even take my phone. I didn't take my GoPro. We went over to this. It ended up being like a door panel or something off of like a barn. It was like 2 sheets of tin with some webbing of wood in there. And we flipped it, and right underneath it was 2 of my lifer coach whips.
Nice snakes, big.
It was one of the most beautiful flips I've ever had.
Nice when you get a new snake. I love them. New breed.
Yep. And so when we flipped it, one of them ended up shooting out the side and going away. And I was like, oh, no. So I stepped in there. It was a good probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 feet long. So I kind of stepped underneath it and grabbed the bigger of the 2, pulled him out, and after about 2 seconds, I realized I had stepped right in a fire ant mound, and I looked down, and they were climbing up my foot. So I kicked my shoe off. I'm like brushing my foot off, like freaking out because they were starting to bite me, and I literally just kicked my shoe off. I left it. I didn't have my phone, so I ran back to the car. So there's people driving by, and there's this kid with a Michigan shoe holding a giant snake. I had my shirt off because we were just cruising and hiking and stuff, and it was really warm, so I had my shirt off, and I was like, these guys driving by are like, what in the world is... And then they see my almost 70-year-old grandpa, and they're like, what? Like, they look so confused. It was so funny.
Probably made a good show for them, though.
It did. One of the guys was like, what in the world? Like, his expression was so funny. And they, like, slowed down, too, a little bit to look, and it was so funny. But...
Lucky it's not a high-traffic area, though, back there.
But, so, yeah, it was super awesome. We got some videos. I was super bummed about not wearing my GoPro and getting a flip of it. And so we had the one in hand, and I was like, Papa, why don't we try to flip it again? I bet the other coach whip, I bet he just went back under. And I flipped it, and sure enough, the other coach whip was right there.
Yeah, made it a good day.
So we ended up getting both in hand, and just super, super cool circumstance. My first time flipping a snake in Florida, and it was a double flip of my lifer coach whip. So it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No. And when some days you go all day, see nothing, that was looking like one of those days, and it just takes one find to make it worthwhile.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, the whole day was beyond worth it just to get, that flip at the end.
Oh, yeah. And we did talk to those bikers that said they seen at least some snake signs that were riding bicycles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were riding a tandem bicycle up and down the Sandhills, which, wouldn't have been my choice of places to go. But, yeah, he's like, can I show you a picture of a snake we saw the other day? And I was like, yeah, sure. And it ended up being a gorgeous crimson hognose that they found. And he's like, yeah, I thought it was dead. And I explained to him how hognose play dead and stuff. And it was a really cool interaction.
Yeah. And the day driving around, though, we must have had moisture the day or night before because the sand wasn't... It seemed like it had a little dampness to it.
Yeah. We weren't really able to see much tracks on it just because it was all packed in and wet.
Yeah.
But the day was worth it, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
More than worth it.
Yeah, you find a species like that. Beautiful snake, too. They were, both of them.
Oh, yeah.
The coloring
super
in
big, yeah. I know you like big snakes.
Big, and they weren't just like water snakes, dark. They all that beautiful color in them.
Yep. And now coach whips might be one of my favorite because they're super cool feeling. Like I always knew that they were gonna feel cool just based on how their scales were, but it was like amazing. I mean, it was like better than a corn snake for me. I think corn snakes feel super cool, but coach whips might be my new favorite snake.
Yeah, I liked him because he didn't bite me when I was holding him.
Yeah, I was surprised that we didn't get any bites from them.
Yeah, none.
None.
Yeah.
And coach whips are usually kind of like racers, and they're pretty bitey, but that was awesome.
Good find.
So our last day that we herped was yesterday, and I knew that, you know, after flipping the coach whips, I was like, you know, let's try to just find some places to flip, and instead of, you know, hiking or road cruising, because I felt that was going to be the best way for us to find stuff. And I came across the spot the night before. I was looking on my phone just trying to find places for us to go to flip, and we tried to get permission from one place, but we were met with a little bit of a language barrier, and we didn't necessarily get a no, but we definitely didn't get a yes. So that first spot didn't happen, but we headed out to a hiking trail to hike to some tin, and on the way there, Grandpa spotted a racer that I had walked right by, and you hear it or something?
I heard it first, looked, and there it was moving slowly across, and of course I was not brave enough to grab it, so I told Ty, and he ended up snagging it.
Yep.
Nice that they field our woods actually with leaves, which is nice. Find them in the wild sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
And at least the spot was open with not a lot of brush, so it was
Yeah, there wasn't much. It had to cross a big clearing, you know, which made
it
me
an easier catch. Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. It was a smaller, not necessarily juvenile, but a smaller racer, the smallest one that we've got here in Florida on this trip. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Another snake that I wouldn't have found if Papa wouldn't have been there.
Yeah. Although in the tin pile, that racer wasn't much difference in size.
Was it?
They were close to the same size.
I didn't.
Kind of a medium size, not real
quite
large.
Huge. Yeah. So after we caught the first racer, we made it to our tin spot, and a lot of the tin that we were supposed to really be flipping was stacked like way too close together, and it was kind of tied together, so we couldn't really flip it. And we actually saw a racer basking right next to it, and he went under it. But since we couldn't flip it, we couldn't, you know, get him out. But we made our way to, you know, a couple of the areas. We were able to flip some of the stuff a little bit, but it wasn't super ideal. But we actually found a stack of plywood, probably, would you say about 8 pieces of plywood stacked?
Yes.
Something like that. It was quite a bit. But we decided to go through them, and, you know, both of us got on our side, flipping them up. And we get to the very last one, and we flip it. And I'm on the back side, so I can't see anything. I just, you know, I'm picking it up from the back. And Papa goes, "There he is." And there he is to me could mean there's a lizard, there's a mouse, there's a rat, there's a snake, there's a bird, there's a like I don't know what there he is, like there he is means. I don't even know if it's a living animal. And Papa says, "There he is." And I peek my head around the side of the board, and right there is my my first eastern or yellow rat snake.
Another good-looking snake.
Beautiful
yeah.
snake. So I'm not really too I'm not too familiar with the taxonomy of yellow and eastern rat snakes here in Florida, but I'm kind of considering it a lifer because I've got the only other one I've got was a Everglades rat, which I believe is a different like subspecies of the eastern rat. So I'm not really sure. It felt like a lifer to me. I was excited as if it was a lifer. So just really cool, you know, to flip some snakes here, to put some effort into finding a spot and to flip a snake like that I really wanted to see this trip was super fun.
Yeah, that turned out to be a real good day. Better than expected.
So like you said, we also flipped another racer later on that was probably similar size, you said, to the other one. And
yes.
It was like sandwiched in between two kind of pieces of metal.
Channel, yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And that was everything we got today, that was everything we got that day, but kind of cool to be able to actually, no, I forgot. We after we did that, like you're talking about, we went to the river and got skunked. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, yeah, we did do that. Didn't find anything.
Yeah. And then we decided to just kind of drive around and look for maybe some more stuff to flip, just because we knew it would probably be one of the best methods that day. And we stopped at a little flip on the side of the road. We didn't even know what it was at first. It ended up being some tin. We ended up moving it because it was really fresh. But right after we moved it, we were trying to flip some other little pieces of cardboard and whatever. And I found this little, I don't know if it was part of like a washer or dryer, some little tiny metal piece. I flip it, and I got my life for Brahmi blind snake. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm thinking Brahmi blind snake. I don't know if that's how you say it, but a blind snake, invasive species here in Florida. But it was pretty cool. I wasn't really like expecting it at all to find one, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, them are such small snakes that I think most people might even just think it's a worm or something.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even know.
I didn't know when I first saw it. Like, I saw it move. I saw the black. My first instinct was, oh, it's a lizard, because it moved pretty fast. But I was like, that's not a lizard. And as soon as I saw, like, you can barely see the reflection. Like, it's not slimy like a worm, so you can kind of see the reflection of, like, the scales. Yep. And I was like, no way. That's a Brahmi blind snake.
I'm glad you found it, not me. I wouldn't have known.
You would have just set it down and said, well, nothing was under there. Just a worm. But, yeah, that was pretty cool. So not only did we get the beautiful yellow rat snake, but we also got a ton of racers, and then we got that blind snake. So overall, it was a pretty good day.
Real good.
Were you going to mention something else about the river? Oh.
No.
Did I ever mention the brown snakes?
Nope.
I didn't.
I think we did the brush pile jump.
Yeah, I forgot to mention
the rest of that day, I don't think we...
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, because we were having technical difficulties. I completely skipped it.
Yeah.
So, going back, rewinding to the water snake catch, our big target for that day was brown water snakes, and we kept hiking down the river there, and after not too long, we spotted our first brown water snake just basking on the edge of the trail, and I got right up next to him, and I looked down, and I was like, there's a brown water snake, Papa. And I was going to catch him at first, but then I always like to get an in situ shot, and he wasn't going to move, so I just got a little video photo of him, but that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Real good. That's one of our targeted snakes, too.
Yep, big target.
Florida, you've seen the Florida water snakes before, haven't you?
Yep, we've seen those before.
Never a brown. So that was really a lot of new species this week.
Yep. So the Florida brown, or not Florida brown, the brown water snake was my 39th species, 39th species that I found, and then the coach whip was 40. So I've made it, and then Brahminy blind snake makes 41. So 41 species of snakes I've found now.
How about that little? That little one was the
Brahminy blind snake.
How about the yellow rat?
I don't know if that one counts or not, but that could be 42.
You.
So my goal is to get 50 to 50 species this year. So we'll see, but I'm doing pretty good. I've gotten 2, maybe 3 lifers. No, maybe 3, maybe 4 lifers this trip. So,
and the amazing thing on that river trip, we didn't just find one brown snake.
Yeah, we actually found a bunch. How
3
many?
of them.
3 of them,
and one that we
didn't
kind of
know.
skid off. We didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Them brown snakes were mean, though.
Yeah, I noticed that. I still have got scars all over my hands from them suckers biting me.
I didn't hold them. I'm out. If they're biting somebody else, I'm out of there.
I think it made good video. How do you think it's going to do for the ratings on the videos? Do you think people are going to like to see that?
Oh, yeah. That's the jump into the pile probably more, but
yeah.
Oh, they love bites too.
Oh, yeah. They love to see the blood and the... Yep, I've already got my thumbnail made up for that video. It's gonna be my whole hand covered in blood.
And I got this week. I got my first little teeny tiny bite.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm so brave.
He got bit by a racer. He's like, let me see that thing. And I was holding him like really gently, and he wasn't paying much attention to me. But whenever Papa moved in, he was like going crazy, and he put his hand in there and just. it launched onto him, and Papa goes, "Oh!" He pulls his hand back. I was like, "Papa, you can't pull your hand back." He's like, "But it was scary." But now, hey, you're in the bike club.
I'm there.
Boom.
And next time I'll just let him enjoy his
Chomping on you.
Yeah, there you go. Enjoy his prey.
Get him a little taste. That Polak meat.
Oh yeah, there's nothing better than Polish.
So I don't know. We've just had overall a super great week. My goal was to at least get one video out, and I'm pretty sure I have enough to get 2 full videos out, which is super exciting. And we just, man, getting all the lifers. I really wasn't expecting to see so much good stuff and meeting so many great people, and it's just been a great week.
Really great for me too. Everything that happened, because you never know. You go on trips like this for 3-4 days, and sometimes it's almost nothing or very little.
Yeah.
This is a full week. Good one.
Yep. We had a couple slow days and a couple really good days, and I said at the beginning, I said, we should at least, if we can average 1 snake a day, that'll be good enough. 1 snake a day, if we can do it. And we got quite a bit more than that.
And we do say a little prayer sometimes, or most of the time.
Most of the time, yep.
The Lord help direct our path, our way, and so we were thanking Him.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great trip.
We were really, really blessed, weren't we?
Oh, yeah, very.
But this is my last day here in Florida. I'm going to be headed back to Tennessee. And, Grandpa, I won't see you until probably May, about 2 months. I'll be off school, and then we will be doing some crazy, crazy herping. We've got a couple trips planned, and we'll be finding some snakes, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're leaving me today. I think I'm going into depression. Oh, no, Grandma will be here with me.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. And I think we hit this week so hard that you need a 2-month rest for me, and then we'll be back together.
Oh, no. I don't even feel like I've been overworked at all.
You don't?
No, I feel great.
Well, maybe at some point after I graduate college, and we can just do this all the time.
Yeah. See if you can wear me out then.
Yeah. We'll see if you can handle me for a month or 2 months.
I am getting older every year, too.
But it's been good times.
Real great week.
Well, guys, that is going to do it for this episode. Hopefully everything turned out great. We did have quite a bit of technical difficulties, like I said, and the lawnmower in the background was a constant battle. But if you would need to reach out to us, go ahead and leave a comment on YouTube. If you have questions for us, do that as well. Or you can send us an email at thehopelessherpers@gmail.com. We love to hear back from you guys, and if you have questions, we can even answer them on the podcast. If you have questions about our snake hunting stuff, or just questions about, how we got involved, how we do things, questions for Grandpa, shoot them in. We'll get them answered. Also, if you've been enjoying the podcast, or this is your first time, leave us a review, and that would really help us out. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you for listening to the Hopeless Herpers podcast.
Thanks for joining us.